So it was about 3 years ago when I was at my heaviest, which was 12 stone more than what I am now. And I guess the daily challenges was everything from being able to climb out of bed, aches and pains in my ankles and my knees, challenges with my health. My blood pressure was higher than it should have been, which shouldn't have been the case for a 37-year-old. Just the big thing for me was not being able to, take my daughter to the park and run around with her. And I would always go and try, but I felt like I was letting people around me down. And that was the big turning point for me, was one day being in the park and just my little girl running off. She's a bundle of energy. She was 2 years old at the time, and I just couldn't keep up with her. And all these thoughts started going in my head. What if one day she was just running ahead of me and towards a car, for example, and I wasn't able to run up fast enough and catch her in time. And that for me was a point, quite a low point, and I just had to say, you know what, you need to sort yourself out now. And I had to stop focusing on diets and the short-term fixes that I'd been working on up until then. I'd spent my 20s and early 30s going through that vicious circle of starting a diet, thinking, right, it's a diet, it's going to be a quick fix, I'll do this for 6 weeks, I'll drop a few pounds, and then I'll go back to what was normal. But I didn't even know what normal was, but normal for me wasn't obviously good. Normal for me was overeating. I would lose a bit of weight, go back to my normal, and then gain that weight plus extra. And then I would then move on to the next fad diet. And I was in that vicious circle for 15 years. I spoke to my GP about it, and the one thing that resonated that she said is it's a lifestyle change and our bodies were built to move. And that's how I started. I just started with cutting out on calories and moving more. And that's what was the big thing that really helped me start chipping away at the weight. Right, so I started in Impact in January 2018, and even since joining here I'm down about 20 kilograms in 9 months. And when I walked in here, I'd already I'd made progress, but for me, I just wanted to feel healthier and fitter and stronger. I was a nervous wreck going into gyms. I've tried gyms before, never felt like I belonged there or that I could even walk into one. But the minute I walked in the door at Impact, I felt at home. Everybody, trainers, the coaches, the members, everybody just took you in, put their arms around you basically and made you feel at home and comfortable. And I ultimately had to make the decision to get myself here, which was a tough decision. But once I was here, I looked around and I just saw everybody was different. Everybody was hustling around, doing and working towards their own little goals. It didn't matter what those goals were, everybody was on the same page. They were ultimately here to get, I think, fitter and healthier and stronger. You look back now and now I can squat to depth and I'm increasing the weights, but at the time everybody was at a different level, and that didn't matter, and it doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter. And that was a fear for me when I walked into gyms. It's like, you've got to be at a certain level or you've got to be a certain way, and that's not the case here at all. I said it to you earlier, Sean, when my little girl turned around to me and said, "Mommy, when I'm big, I want to be like you so I can go to your gym." That was me sold. I knew what I was doing was a good thing.